Hello, thanks for your company this evening. University staff across the region began a 3-day strike today, affecting thousands of students whose education has already been disrupted by the pandemic. Many took to the picket lines this morning. So which universities have got staff on strike and what's the action all about? Well, around 6,000 members of the University and College Union at the universities of Bradford, Leeds, Sheffield, York and Sheffield Hallam have been on strike today. Nationally, the union says more than 1 million students will see their teaching affected. Staff had walked out over a dispute about pensions and pay and conditions. The union also wants staff to get a £2,500 pay rise, as well as action to tackle unmanageable workloads and insecure contracts. And the union also warned that more strikes could take place in the new year if the disputes with employers aren't resolved. Mark Ansell has our top story tonight.
When they say cut back, we say fight back!
Lecturers and support staff taking a stand over pay, working conditions and pensions. It means students are facing more disruption after 18 months of limited face-to-face teaching during the pandemic.
Pay has already degraded to the extent that some people are having to ask themselves, can I afford to go on strike? Which I think tells you a lot about the situation, especially those of us with young families. I think we're at the position where we just can't go on like this any further. Things get worse year on year on year, and the universities, the vice-chancellors, simply are not listening to us. We are backed into a corner, and there's nothing else that we can do.
No ifs, no buts, no education cuts!
The walkouts are taking place in Leeds, Bradford, York and Sheffield. Students have given it a mixed response.
They just don't think it's fair that after having a year of strikes followed by a year and a half of online learning, they've just got back to normal. Things are just about starting to get back into the swing, and then we're facing possibly months of strikes.
Even if the lecturers are going on strike or any of the staff are going on strike, we can still utilise our skills that we used during the pandemic to study at home.
I do support it because the teachers should be paid more for what they do, considering it's a lot of work and they're helping the next generation out.
The University of Sheffield Students' Union is focusing on supporting students rather than taking a stance in favour or against the strike.
We really want to find this resolution between disputing parties. We also want to keep students informed and educated on what's going on, and allow students to, be aware of the support that's available to them.
In a statement, the University of Sheffield says the 3 days of strike action is unlikely to affect the majority of students. Our priority is to minimise disruption for those students affected, to ensure that learning and teaching continues to be delivered. With no resolution in sight, more disruption is on the cards. The UCU union has warned of further strikes next year. Mark Ansell, BBC Look North, Sheffield.